Hello guys and welcome to my new video, cheating out cards for less ink, a lot of removal, destroying every aggro deck out there. Amber Ruby is back, live deck profile with all the cards you need. Before we dive into the deck, don't forget to subscribe, more videos are coming, and now have fun, let's go. So this is the overview of my Amber Ruby list. Let's have a quick look at all the cards in general. Let's talk about it specifically one by one. If you want to copy this list, you will find a link to my Lorcana deck page, as always, in the video description. And now let's start with the deck profile. Our only one-drop character is Mulan, Wounded Soldier. She comes into play with 2 damage markers on her, and those are very important for some shenanigans you can do with this. And here comes Ruben, 4 copies of the new Amber 2-cost inkable character, 1 strength, 3 willpower, quest for 1. And when you exert him, you can remove up to 2 damage from chosen character, and for each damage removed, you pay 1 ink less for the next character you play this turn. And little spoiler ahead, this means you could shift Mulan Elite Archer in turn 3 already, because 5 cost shift and you have the 1-drop shift target already in play. This means you can start tearing apart aggro boards from the very beginning in turn 3. Another card cheating out cards with less ink is the Grandmother Widow, 2-cost uninkable card, 1 strength, 2 willpower, quest for 1, and once per turn you pay 1 ink less for the next character you play this turn. To clarify her ability, if you have her in play, it's like ability counts immediately and you can use it only once and only for the next character you play, so you cannot choose when to use her ability. So sequencing is very important, and if you have multiple Grandmother Widows on board, they all count like in the same timing at the same time. So if you play like a 1-drop character, they all use her effect for the 1-drop character. So as I said, sequencing is very important with Grandmother Widow. We also have, and I think this is one of the best, go second cards, Liquidator, 2-cost inkable character, 4 strength, 2 willpower. He doesn't quest for any lore, he has Reckless, and if it's your second turn, you only pay 1 ink to play Liquidator, which means he basically says no to a Daisy quest, because then the next turn he could take out Daisy with 1 hit and survives. So he usually is a 2-for-1, which can be really good against all those fast and aggro decks. And to top off the good slot with Mowgli, 3 copies to rip an enemy non-character card from his hand, and a little Tesh card I toyed around the last couple days. 2 copies of Sugar Drift, Dual Ink card, Amber Ruby, 2-cost inkable action. You draw a card so it replaces itself, which is actually the best part of this card. And then you can choose one of your characters, give it +5 strength, and at the end of your turn, you banish this character. This can be really, really huge with like Mulan, for example, or one of your lower strength characters. You draw a card, you boost up this character, which would probably die in the challenge anyway, and at the end of your turn, you banish it. I really found this card very useful in some situations, because you can like use it on lower strength characters to take out like a Yago, for example, or even bigger characters. So this is for the 1-drop and 2-drop slot. For the 3-drop slot, we usually skip this part of the play, but for more removal, for more aggro removal, we have 3 copies of Sisu, Daring Visitor, 3-cost uninkable character, 1 strength, 1 willpower, quest for 1. She has Evasive, which can be really, really helpful in combination with Sugar Drift, for example. And when you play Sisu, you can banish a character with 1 strength or less. So this can come in very handy against those dog decks or aggro decks in general. And the rest of the 3-drop slot is action and song based. We have Ohana means family, 4 copies of it. If you're wondering what are those 2 cards, those are my proxy cards. It's still week 1, I don't have all the cards available right now. But Ohana means family, 3-cost inkable action. You choose one of your characters, you remove all the damage on this character, and for each damage removed, you draw a card. This is basically one of our card draw engines we have in this deck. We have Mulan with damage coming into play. We have some characters with huge bodies. They can hold a lot of damage. So Ohana means family can draw you a lot of cards throughout the game. Also in the 3-drop slot, we have the Horseman Strikes, 3-cost inkable action. You draw a card, so it replaces itself again, and then you can choose to banish a character with evasive. So with all the evasive characters played in several decks, this card is really needed and helpful against so many decks. And to have even more removal available, World's Greatest Criminal Mind, 3-cost inkable action song. Banish a character with 5 strength or more. There are several characters played throughout the game in several decks with 5 strength or more, and then World's Greatest Criminal Mind is really helpful. Yeah, that's it actually for the 3-drop slot. Let's move all those cards aside and let's go over to the 4-drop slot. We're starting with our MVP of this deck. For me personally, this is one of the strongest cards we run. Bambi, 4-cost inkable card, 3 strength, 5 willpower. So kind of huge body and very good body for Ohana means family plays. She has boost 2, quests for 1 lore, and every time you exert Bambi, which means you can challenge with Bambi, exert it, you can quest, you can sing. Every time you exert it, you count the cards under Bambi, and then from the top of your deck, you put all the character cards in your hand. So you have to reveal the character cards and put them into your hand. So if you like boost Bambi twice or even 3 times, it can mean you like draw 3 cards each turn, which can be really good. And Bambi has been my MVP in testing. Also in the 4-cost slot, we have Sarabi, 4-cost inkable character, 4 strength, 4 willpower, quest for 1. And when you exert Sarabi, one opposing character gets -4 strength until the start of your next turn. So if you combine Sarabi, for example, with small Sisu or with challenging, so your characters take no damage, or you can also use it for the Headless Horseman, which will come up later in the deck profile. Sarabi is also one of the strongest cards in this deck, so you can challenge freely, or you just give one of the opposing characters -4 strength so they can challenge into your characters and you can quest safely. Yeah, that's it for the 4-drop slot. We have 2 cards in the 5-drop slot. The new Stitch Snowboarder, 5-cost inkable character, 4 strength, 5 willpower. Again, a good body with 5 willpower for Ohana means family plays. He quests for 2, and every time Stitch quests, when you have 2 more characters in play, you can draw a card. So here we are again, drawing cards with this color combo. Isn't that hard? It's character based, it's sometimes conditional, but we have enough draw power in this deck, and questing for 2 is always a nice thing to have. Also in the 5-drop slot, you can't leave him out. The Headless Horseman from set 10, 5-cost uninkable character, 4 strength, 2 willpower, quests for 2. When you play this character, you can banish a character with 2 strength or less. So here we also have a nice synergy with Sarabi, reducing strength. And whenever you banish a character in your turn, all your other characters get +1 strength. So there are some nice combinations possible with the Headless Horseman. Second ability as well to boost up your other characters to deal more damage. And yeah, that's it for the 4-cost and 5-cost slot. Let's put all those cards aside and let's go and finish strong. 3 copies of Mulan Elite Archer, 6-cost inkable character, 2 strength, 6 willpower, quests for 2. As I said in the beginning, shift 5. And when you use shift, she gets 3+ strength in this turn. And whenever you deal damage to another character in your turn, you can deal the same amount of damage twice to 2 more characters. So for example, if you go the line 1-drop Mulan, Ruben, shift Mulan in turn 3, you can then challenge with 5 strength in this turn and deal 5 damage twice again to other characters your opponent has on board. But you can also use Sugar Drift with Mulan Elite Archer, which can also be really, really strong, or use the Headless Horseman's second ability to boost up the strength of Mulan. So Mulan is, for me personally, one of the top 5 cards in this deck and really needed against all those fast and aggro decks. And speaking of aggro decks, I think one of the best matchups this deck can have are aggro decks, aggro shells, whatever they throw at you. They are no match, so this is what this deck is here to beat all those fast and aggro decks. And let's finish with our deck profile. 4 copies of Stitch Surfer, sorry, 4 strength, 8 willpower, so again a huge body for Ohana Means Family plays. If you wonder why he has only 1 lore symbol, it's the OG card, German, from set 1 misprint. And when you play this character and you have 2 more characters in play, you can draw 2 cards. So again, here we can draw cards with this color combo, and Stitch is so hard to remove outside of like Hades or Let It Go. And yeah, he has such a huge body. He quests for 2 and it's just a good card. And to finish off this deck profile, Maleficent Dragon. In my first version of this deck, I had 4 copies of Maleficent Dragon, but I found in testing that usually he is ink, and yeah, 3 copies is more than enough against some control decks. You can really need Maleficent Dragon to remove stronger characters on the spot. Other than that, huge body again, quests for 2, and is such a good card. Yeah, this is it for the deck profile. Amber Ruby, the aggro killer. The only matchup I really struggle a bit or a lot is Blurple on the play, but which deck doesn't struggle against Blurple on the play? So maybe I can refine this deck list and I refine this color combo for this set. I really like it so far. This is the most fun I had in testing. As I said in the beginning, if you want to copy this deck list, you will find a link to my Lorcana deck page in the video description. Just copy it, test it yourself, and see how you like this color combo. Now in set 11, it gives me a little bit of Mufasa vibes back set 2, set 3, when Mufasa was a thing. I really loved this color combo, and now I think it's playable again. Some say no, it's not, it's a tier 2, tier 3 deck, but it's really, really fun. You can beat all the aggro decks out there. And if you're facing a lot of aggro decks in your local meta, I think this deck is one to go with. Other than that, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. If you're new to the channel, I'm always happy about new followers, new subscribers, so hit subscribe. Thank you. See you next time. Flokki.